Now, have you ever lost a 1v1 and just thought to yourself, if only I had double the health, 80% resistance, 2 weapons, ordnance armor, and a million other advantages, I would have won. Well, thankfully in Planetside, you can have all these things as a max so you can beat up that guy in the next 1v1. And today, I will be going through all the max playstyles and ranking them in my tier list. So let's get started. Now the first max I'm going to go over is a Feral max. These are the maxes that have returned to the wild, as you sometimes encounter them roaming around in the middle of nowhere. No one really knows what exactly they're doing there, but it's always funny finding a max in these unexpected places, like this max walking right past an enemy tank, or this random max 1 hex away from the main fight who, for some reason, only has 1 HP left. They probably are F tier in terms of efficiency, but just for their ability to really appreciate the open world aspect of this game, I will rank them at D tier. The next max we have on this list is an Anti-infantry max. These are the most common maxes you see in a battlefield who equips 2 anti-infantry weapons, doing what a max does the best: stat checking a normal infantry. And I know it's a bit improper to fit NC shotgun max with other ones, but the basics are the same. With 2 AI weapons on each arms, you can just mow down enemy infantries as if you are a Soltec Turbo Gaming Chair Master Race. Now these maxes did get nerfed recently as its time to kill was increased all around, but it only went from being very strong to just being strong, and you still see these guys vibing a point room every day. They can also utilize the specific ability where NC Max can use a riot shield to enter the turtle mode, TR Max can lock down and become a camping monster, and BS Max ability just has a really troubled past, which I'm not exactly sure what happened, but when I asked, I just got this reaction that kind of describes it all. So in the end, I will place both BS and TR AI Max at B tier, but I will have NC Max placed a tier higher, just due to the fact that they're more deadly in CQC while being able to employ a Greek phalanx formation. And now it is time to talk about the max mains. Now these are the hardcore max enjoyers who have discovered the secret on how to maximize max playtime. That is, as long as you only play with a huge number advantage and play like a complete coward, running away as soon as you take damage and often camping at a jump pad, you won't have to worry about dying. Meaning that you can play max for forever and become a 10 KD player. But I do have to advise you that it's not all that great as it seems. Because you're gonna be sweating so hard without switching your max suit that your max suit will start thinking really bad. And you will notice it as engineers stop repairing you and just runs away from you instead. And when the fight is over, a Sandy driver just refuses to let you in because they don't want your smelly armpits in their vehicle. And now you have to walk all the way to the next fight on your feet, just by yourself, in this vast, untamed nature of Oraxis. And that's how you become yet another Feral max, guys. So don't be a max main. Anyway, next up we have Double Burster Max. Now these maxes equipping 2 busters always has been a king of the ground-based anti-air. It is a frag weapon, so it doesn't get countered by flare like a stupid lock-on weapons, and you have enough damage to take down ESF all by yourself, so you can just confidently pull it to protect your teammates anytime an A2G show up to the fight. But most of the time, people just pull it whenever they control a high ground, so they can just camp at the spot and be a giant annoyance to any aircraft that flies nearby. Because what are they gonna do about it? Try to 1v1 a Burster Max? Now you might get OS when doing this, but you can easily survive that by just hopping on a Sandy. Wait, where is that Max going? The Sandy is this way. So yeah, what happened to that max really made me scared of dying to an orbital strike. But thankfully, devs added a Fallout hardening suit slot which reduces OS damage. So you can equip it and rest easy when OS goes off and just say to them, "Nice try, losers." What the hell? I still died? So there you go, double burster max A tier, Fallout hardening F tier. This thing is as useless as YouTube thumbs down button. Next on the tier list we have short range anti-vehicle max. Now these are the maxes who use 2 of the default anti-vehicle weapons to fight against enemy vehicles and maxes. And generally these weapons have a hard time hitting anything past close range because of their slow projectile speed. But within the close range, you can wreck vehicles and melt other maxes in a 1v1, while being a bit awkward can still take down infantry with well placed shots. So I will be ranking both BS and NC ones at C tier. But in comparison, TR's Heck Pounder feels a lot easier and stronger thanks to more rounds per magazine, and it's just really fun fanatically spamming it with a lockdown ability. And I think it deserves a tier higher than the rest. Now in addition to the short range anti-vehicle weapons, Max Suits also has access to long range anti-vehicle weapons. These weapons comes in a form of pinpoint laser for BS, a guided missiles for NC, and whatever it is for TR. And with them, you can continuously tip damage enemy from a safe distance. Which is from a vehicle's perspective, very annoying because it's just this tiny hitbox shooting at you. Now most of the time though, the enemy tank will just take cover before you can finish them, and if you get caught by an infantry, it's just very awkward. But when you do have that really nice high ground and other people doing it with you, these weapons can be really effective, so I will rank them all at B tier. Now there are also these pocket engineers. These guys are like a squire to a knight or simps to a female streamers. They just follow you everywhere you go and attend your every needs by repairing and giving you ammo, as well as protecting you from a C4 fairy when you don't have an AI weapon. And what can I say? You guys are all A tier. I love you all. And on the contrary, there's also Grand Games. Now I saw him using anti-vehicle grenade and decimator to hunt down many maxes in one of his videos. And it will just make you question, why would you do such a thing to these innocent max players? F tier guys. And don't forget that this also applies to anyone who killed me when I was recording my max gameplay for this video. You guys are all F tier. And now there's double Gorgon max. No one really cares about this weapon, but for this tier list, I took the L and wasted 2000 swords to buy a pair, so you won't have to. And the main selling point of this is that it can fight in any situation. But you're always gonna be better off if you just run the dedicated AA or AV weapons. And I've seen some NC mags who use this over shotgun to get that extra range when fighting against infantries. But it's just not that accurate to really justify losing out on shotguns. I was able to win 1v1 against other mags using Gorgons, but I'm pretty sure that it's because other mags just sabotaged himself by receiving 20% extra damage with his ability. So I do not recommend spending 2000 swords for this set of weapons. By now, I know everyone's been waiting to find out what is the S tier max. So here it goes. As some of you might have guessed already, the S tier max is a Soltech max. Now starting with a revolutionary flight ability, Soltech max is the pinnacle of the technological advance, able to overcome any max related challenges. You can't hit heck pounders on long range? No problem, just add a heat seeking ability. Max dying too easily to C4s in CQC? Just rant yourself to the sky ceiling, where no one can kill you. I saw this quote in Chinese forum other days. The Azure server is a world of technology where gods fight. And I just could not agree more. And because of the technological prowess, the Soltech Max has earned its place in the S tier. And also there's a Light Assault Max. These are the mechs that you see flying in the air and you just think to yourself, damn, it's Celtic Max, I'm dead. But that Max just dies, because it was actually a light assault whose appearance was a Max due to a decade-old bag. While it's only a bluff, however, nothing steals more confusion in the battlefield than a light assault Max driving a Flash. And honestly, I just could not stop laughing because it reminded me of a video of oversized mascot riding a motorcycle. And you know, just for that shock value, it ranks high in the C tier. So that completes my max tier list, guys. Just remember that Planetside has 750 max players per continent, meaning that all 750 of them are pesky max mains.